daily ice cream sales totals for the weather measurement. Which service should you use? Okay, so it's pick the Azure machine learning one there for that one. The next one there, an automobile dealership wants to use historical car sales data to train a machine learning model. The model should predict the price of a pre-owned car based on its make, model, engine size, and mileage. What kind of machine learning model should you use for the dealership to use automated machine learning to create it? Right, so there's a couple of components in there, or features, or labels, what they actually say. So I would say it is probably regression. We'll just see if I'm right. Yeah, there we go. And the last one below then, predict app provides audio output for visually impaired users. So it's ticked inclusiveness. So that's the kind of, the responsible AI models. So uh, I covered them there earlier: transparency, inclusion, and fairness. So obviously somebody who is visually impaired, like, you want to include them. You don't want to be kind of have a bias in the AI, so you need to be inclusive there for that one. Okay, just moving on there. That's just a summary of what we've done there and that one. So just 1 second there now. Okay. So they were actually the slides that I covered. So we were up here. Yeah, so there were the other ones there for when I was talking about the inclusiveness. So it kind of, it says there like that solution works for everybody, right? It doesn't kind of say like, it's only all men can go into it, or it's all women or whatever. It just includes everybody. Nobody is left out of this thing. So that's kind of dash 1 second there now. I'll just find the part here. So this is I covered this part last week as well. So like, if you want to sign up to do this AI fundamental examination, you can just pop over to Microsoft Learn. It's a great platform. You can find anything inside here to learn, but we're concentrating on the AI fundamentals for here. So the overview of it, right? And this is just the fundamentals anyway. So it's going to cover, this is the skills it's going to cover: describe artificial intelligence workloads and considerations, describe the fundamental principles of machine learning on Azure, describe features of computer vision workloads on Azure, and describe features of natural language processing, which is in brackets there, NLP workloads on Azure. And the last one then, describe features of generative AI workloads on Azure. And there is the course there that they have. So it's not very big. As you can see there, the first part is 3 hours, and that covers Microsoft fundamentals. It's giving you the overview there of all the different kind of services and what's made up of Azure AI. So 3 hours and 6 minutes is not too bad. The next section here then is Microsoft Azure Fundamentals, and that covers the computer vision section, and that's 1 hour 40. There's 3 units in it. So it's not too bad, 1 hour 40 on that particular topic. And it's all at your own pace, and you can just log on from your computer at home and just do it at your own pace. And the next one then underneath that is Microsoft Azure Fundamentals, and that covers the natural language processing, and that's 2 hours and 22 minutes. It's got 4 units inside in that. So the next one is Microsoft Azure AI Fundamentals. So that covers document intelligence and knowledge mining, right? That one then is 1 hour and 31 minutes. There's 2 units inside in that one, and that's not too bad either. So the final one then is Microsoft AI Fundamentals, which covers generative AI, and that one is 3 hours and 6 minutes. So if you tot the whole lot up there, it's roughly 4.5, 7, 8, 9. So you're talking about 12 hours. So 12 hours of training. So you could really, do that over a couple of weeks, and then you can come down here, and Microsoft have this practice assessment. So you can actually go in and you can actually take this, take the practice exam. And I've done this now over a couple of weeks there myself. And they say if you get over 90%, 3 times, I think, they'll say you're ready to take the actual exam. So I'm going to do it there now on this Thursday, because I'm actually after doing it getting over 90% a few times. But if you want to do some experimenting, then they have this sandbox here. If you want to dive in and do something with the AI on their lab. So the exam itself will take 45 minutes, it says, to complete the assessment. But I've been doing the practice exam there now, and the last few times it took me 15 minutes to complete. So it's not really a scary exam. So go ahead and have a look at it. Yeah, there's one other thing then as well. There is a Microsoft challenge going on at the moment. And if you want to do this here, just look up Microsoft challenges, and there's a couple of them. There's one in Azure AI, Microsoft Fabrics, GitHub, and Copilot for 365, and you can just register for free and do the course. So that's my bit there, Paul, for this week. Joseph, do you want to take over there and share your screen? How you doing,
Okay,
Stephen?
guys, thank you.
Yeah.
Stephen, were you planning to do anything today, Stephen, or you're watching?
No, I'm just watching.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Paul, are you got the administrator? Did you get that during the week for me?
Yes. So the menu's a little bit different. So I still need to figure out what's going on, because my name doesn't come up. I think I come up as you or Dan at the moment.
Okay. So you were able to add Stephen to the screen, were you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. I was just wondering how did he get in, because I couldn't see him when my screen was up. So Joseph, we can see your screen there. So
Okay,
Joseph,
so
Joseph, with your session, if there's anything I spot, do you want me to speak up or shall I wait till the end?
I think we may be able to get to some point, and wherever we get to, so I would like you to speak, Paul, so we can have it broken down into three like we did last week.
Just checking. Okay, good.
Okay, so whatever happens, we can know how to proceed. Okay, so I guess my screen is visible, and
Yeah,
it was we were working on this last week. So I'm just going to continue from here. So while that is loading up, I'm just this week we'll be looking at sections and branch chains. So this is paint. So for sections, what we're going to do today is we would have one section. We'll have another section, and then we'll have another section. So maybe we want to call section 1 seniors or senior, and then we want to call section 2 junior, and then we want to call the section 3 feedback. So what we are trying to do is there's going to be another section also, maybe here, and we're going to call this one bio data. So we may just call this bio. So what this means is that we are going to have questions that the respondents would come supply their names, and from here it will ask if you are a junior, or just state your category, so that if it is junior, then you just come down straight to come see questions in the junior sections, and once you are done, you have option to give feedback. And also,
sorry, Joseph, you talking about
yeah,
branching?
talking about branching here. So we are going to be handling sections and branching together.
Okay, good.
All right, so from the bio also, if you are a senior, then the question you're going to see will just be from here, and once you are done here, you just come down straight to feedback. So that's how we are going to do it. So we're going to deal with sections, section 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then we'll do branching just to see how this user here can loop over to junior, and this senior can loop over to senior, and then loop down to feedback. So that's just basically what we are going to do today. So we had already labeled this Azure AI demo. So I want us to, from here, we're just going to create a section, and we just call that, just give me a sec, we just come here, right? Or up here, rather, be nice. Okay, let's just create one, as though we are adding a question, and then we're adding a section. Okay, so let me see if we can move this section up just the same way we did for so there's no option to move that. Okay, let me see if we can move question below session. Of course we can. Okay, so this is section 1. So inside section 1, I'm going to call section 1 bio, like we have in our design, and this is just going to collect some few details, and it could just be a text, and see enter your name. And then this next one will be for us to say add question, and then we will just say we're going to put it as choice, and then we'll say what is your category, and then up here we say senior, here we say junior. So that means that section 1 is created. So the way it looks is, if you come to preview, it's going to come in the form like this. It will say, I think we need to move this down to somewhere else, saying bio. What's inside bio section? I think we have 4 questions there. We need to separate them. So it's supposed to be bio, get your name, your category. I don't want this to be here, so it was repeated. Let's just come back and look at section 1. So section 1, and this question is supposed to come down to section 2, right? This is supposed to be in section 2, and we're supposed to have enter your name, what category are you, and then we don't need this question. It probably was repeated, so we can remove this. So good. Section 1 is carrying bio, enter your name, what category are you, and then section 2, we just want to call that from what we have in our design. We're going to call that senior. We're going to call that senior. So our first question here is section here is going to be senior. So we can give a subtitle and say this section is for seniors only. Okay. So we have inside senior, we have 1, 2, 3 questions. So we can have another section that we are going to call junior from our design. And we can have some questions on the junior. We can have choice question as well. An option that best suits your favorite food. Maybe. So we just come to option 1. Just random food. Then we can see okay. So, but this is not looking like an example. You just want to get feedback from this junior, right? So let's just say another question is the size of the lobby. 2 meters by 10 meters. And so on, right? So maybe just one more question will just be a text-based question, and very quickly, that may just be write briefly about the history of computer. Okay, let's say that is just, I'm just picking things up randomly, that is the question for the junior category. So if we look at the preview, just to make sure that we're on track, the first category is saying bio, enter your name, what is your category? And then if you go to next, senior category has these questions, which is fine. Then junior category asks, have these questions. Okay, so we just do back, and then we are going to create the last section, which is the feedback section. So we just call this section, and then we're going to call it feedback. And then under feedback, we're going to have question here, kind of rating here. So we'd say rate your experience with the trainer. That's that. And then we can say, okay, we just leave it as star rating, and then we'll come here. We want to use I think we've not used ranking. So ranking is for us to move. Okay, so I was supposed to use this somewhere. Let's say, okay, which of these, or we say arrange this. I'll move this back to the other session. Arrange this in the following programming languages in the order of popularity. Okay, Java, we can just say Python. We can say C++, just to see how this is. So we can move this up to session 3, excuse me. Okay, so for section 4, we have used ranking. We want to use link cards. So how does link cards work? We can see rate each stages of the training. So we can say beginning or introduction, midway, I don't know, maybe we'll just call this midway. We call this conclusion. We can give the options here. We can call this terrible. We can call this bad. Call this good. Or call this fair. Call this good. I'll call this great. Okay, so this is how we want the student to give feedback about their experience. And then the last one is the net promoter, right? So we've used choice, we've used text, we've used rating, we've used dates, we've used ranking, and then we've used link cards, and then net promoter. How likely are you to recommend us to a friend? That is it. So if you come to preview now, you would have the demo, Azure AI demo, and then for bio, you're going to enter your name, and then you go to next, depending on the category. If you are in senior category, one would do the branching, then to determine which questions you are going to see when you click on next. Then from here, you are going to come to the junior category, and then from here, you can move on to the rating, which is the feedback section of it. Having said that, the next point that we are going to look at is the branching that comes with our design. Right now, we've been able to do all of this. We've got this already, we've got this, and then we've got feedback. It is time for us to see how the loop can work. So we come here, we can come to this question here, and then here you would see add branching. So what that does is you are in category here. This will be common to everyone. So what is your category? If you are here in senior, then the next question you should see should be senior. If you are in junior, then the next question you're going to see is junior. But let's scroll down. From senior, when you are done with senior, you are going to go to feedback. From junior, when you are done with junior, you should be able to also get to feedback here. And then from feedback, where are you supposed to go to? You are to go to the end of form. So here it is arranged. So what this means is that when you come here, you would see something that's having a branch up here, showing that there is a branching in this form already. So if you come to preview and then I want to enter my name, I say my name is Joseph, and then what is my category? If I say senior, look at the questions I'm going to see. I'll just come to senior directly. So if I just click through and supply all these details and I move, the next I should see would be my feedback section. And once I do this, then the next thing I would see is how to go ahead and submit. But if I have my response coming up from picking up junior as my category, so if I go again, I say my name is this, and then I pick on junior. If I go to next, then this is the category of questions I'm going to see, and I'm just going to pick them up. So what I'm trying to show here quickly is how you can loop to the section that concerns you when it comes to this. So for this, I can move this depending on how it is to be moved. So this is for the ranking that we saw. So from here, if I do next, I'm just going to see straight to the feedback session. And if I go ahead and hit on this, I am never going to see the option for the senior category. So this is how it works here. And then even on mobile, it's still going to work the same way. So if I'm James on mobile and I'm senior and I do next on my mobile phone, I'm going to see the questions that are for senior. Look at them. And then if I go back and I say I am now junior, if I do next, I'm going to see the questions that are for junior. And if I do next, I'm going to see the feedback. So you can see that the flow is in accordance with our design. That's how interesting it is. So I just want to make sure that I keep to the time. And yes.
It's cool.
So are there comments about this?
So can you go back to the form again, please? Just 1 minute.
Hello?
Can you come back to the form?
Can hear you there. Paul, you're a bit low there. I can't hear you.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Am I still low?
You're okay there now.
Can you go back to the form again, please, Joseph? Can you go back to the desktop? Yeah. When you click on the section on the right-hand side, there's some buttons. What do these ones do again? These ones, yeah. The settings.
This one.
Duplicate, remove, move, or add branching. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, thank you very much for that.
Okay, so maybe next time we'll try to look at how to collect the responses and how to analyze the responses, as well as setting permissions on these forms.
A quick question. Can we use this with the free, is it with the free Microsoft form?
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
so this is the free one from just having a Microsoft account.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that it's free, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Really good.
So Paul, over to you can share your screen.
Okay,
And
thank
when
you very much.
you share your screen as an admin, then Joseph's one is will
So if
go.
I click on present, would that be correct?
Yeah, that's it.
Share my screen.
Yeah,
Share my entire screen.
exactly.
Share it. Hide.
Yeah,
Go back to my. So you can see my desktop now, I'm
yeah,
assuming.
we can see your desktop. Yeah.
So thanks for letting me join this session again, Joseph and Frank. So we looked at the basics of Copilot last week, and what we're going to look at now is using it in Microsoft Outlook. So this is the Pro version of using Copilot, and as I normally do with my sessions, if there's anything as I'm going through it, any questions you want to ask me, please feel free to do so. So the challenge I've had with Copilot is sometimes just finding where is the Copilot button. So the Copilot button's on the screen now. Does anybody know where it is? Can anybody see it?
Yeah, it is up in the top right hand side there, isn't it?
Top right. I was hoping it's going to be in the ribbon, and it's not. It's right here. So this first option is I've got this particular email here, and it could be a much longer thread. And this function is very specific. This will summarize my email. So I'm going to click on it. So that's 4 seconds. And here we are. We've now got a summary of the email. In terms of the way it's been designed, I'm not sure because it's a little bit, does the font look a little bit small to you when you see it on the screen?
Yeah, we can't really see it. It's a bit small.
And even for me, it's a little bit small. The email underneath, is that a little bit clearer?
It is, yeah, yeah.
And it's not that much different, but I just think there might be 1 or 2 changes in the future. And that's it. That is the summary of my email.
Wow.
However, was there any questions? There is another option for us, though.
Is that with the Pro version?
Yeah, so the difference between the free Copilot and the Pro is the Pro Copilot is sitting inside your software. So if I open up PowerPoint, there is the Copilot button. It sits inside every piece of software. But with Outlook, it was a little bit trickier to find it because I looked for it and I was like, where is this button? And that's one of the things I found a challenge was just even finding this button initially. It just seems maybe it should have been in the ribbon. I don't know. They must have their reasons for putting it here. Well spotted on that one, Frank, on seeing where it was. So that could be extremely useful if you're very busy and you just don't want to read a thread of emails. Click on summarize, and the summary is pretty good. The next option you're going to get is when you open up a new email. So here I am, I've opened up a new email, and the Copilot button is where I was hoping it's going to be. It's now in the ribbon. Now, I have to say, this particular part of Copilot, I am not a fan of in terms of what I'm going to do. If I click inside it, it gives me 2 options. Draft an email or give me some coaching on an email I've written. So let's watch what happens when I choose to do a draft email. So now, again, I find the menu just, this I hope will change in the future. So what do you want this email to say? I have had an emergency I've had an emergency at home. My cat has eaten my work. I need the day off. So there I am. I've written this. On the right-hand side, it says generate. And I found no matter what I ask Outlook to do, it never produces a comprehensive email. So again, it just looks really small. You probably can't even read it on the screen. Would you agree?
No.
If you read the email, it says, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to inform you that I've had an emergency at home. My cat has eaten my... It's not really added much value to me. Would you agree?
Yeah, but what if you regenerate again?
It will not be any better. So I'm going to go through all of these buttons. You say regenerate. Watch this. It never gives you, and it would never give you a comprehensive email. So if I click in here and then go to ChatGPT, and I'll just say write email. Can we see the difference?
Yeah.
So I don't have much confidence with this aspect of Copilot in generating an email in Microsoft Outlook. I love Microsoft, of course I do, but this, the layout, the font, the actual experience, I am confident that some of these are going to improve quite drastically
So
in the future.
did you give him a thumbs down and tell him what's wrong, Paul?
Not yet. There's so many things I'm learning at the moment. This is not my priority, but a lot of people I've been chatting to feel exactly the same way about this aspect of Copilot in Microsoft Outlook.
Okay, and you're using the Pro version that you pay for, yeah?
Yeah, I paid £300 for this.
Okay.
In one go. So it's
Stuff for a year, yeah.
it's not cheap. It's not cheap.
Yeah.
But
And Paul, I pay just €20 a month.
oh, I don't know why I paid 300. You
Yeah.
pay 20 a month for the Pro version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it depends on how you buy it. But I think I maybe made a mistake. It might be £240. I'll have to check. But as soon as Copilot came out, because of my training, I just had to buy it. So the cost was irrelevant. I had to have it to be able to use it. So when the thing I found unusual was, I think it might have, did you buy it straight away or did you wait a few months?
I used Dan's version there for a bit, and when it actually wasn't available to buy in Ireland, so I logged in through the UK and I bought it in sterling.
I think what they've done with the licensing is I would have got Copilot within 1 or 2 days of it being released. You probably got yours after me.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
And they changed the way it works from that point onwards. So here, this particular aspect of Copilot, it's not particularly impressive. It will get better, I'm sure. Now, if I was, is there anything you'd like to change? I could say, make email longer. Watch what happens now. It's got a little bit better, but can you see this is going to take too long? It doesn't give me a comprehensive email, but it does give me the choice. Now, one thing to be aware of, you've got these arrows here, which are showing you the prompts. So you can go back through them. And if you look at the top, each one of the answers at the top has produced a different response. So you can play around with this to make your life longer, make your email content longer, not your life longer, just your email longer. It doesn't produce for me the same quality in generating as ChatGPT would. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Now you've got these other options here. I can keep it, and that will put the email into my body. I could choose discard. It's going to get rid of it. Regenerate, we've done that already. And there's this one here called adjust. So when I click on adjust, it does give me the choice of the tone, which gives me 4 options. And it says shorter or longer. I've not seen this one, which says make it a poem. This is new for me. So let's make it a poem. I don't know how it's going to do this. Never seen that one before. Oh my goodness. Now that has produced a really interesting response. Shall we keep it?
So read it out to us there, Paul, what to say.
What's that?
Yeah, we regret the sorrow. I must say that I cannot, yeah.
Yeah, I think you could just adjust that.
So it's not, you can see that it's in its infancy, but that's one of the ideas there. So that's not bad. The final thing I like to show, and the timing's gone pretty well for this, I would say, is you could write an email and ask Copilot to help you with it. So if I click on a new email, press the Windows V, because that'll bring up my clipboard. And this is the draft email. So I'm going to put on here annual leave, but this is an email I've written already. So I'm going to just use Dear Boss. So this is where I say that the cat has eaten my work again. So this time I'm going to click on Copilot, and there's a button here called Coaching by Copilot. This quality is significantly different. Let's click on Coaching by Copilot. So ChatGPT would have done this and already made a cup of tea. There we are. So here we are. It's got different aspects: tone, sentiment, and clarity. So here it says be more assertive, and it gives me the feedback, here, and it gives me more feedback on the clarity. Now I can go up and down if it's giving me more content. So I could click on regenerate, but it's just going to regenerate the feedback. Now, just asking your feedback, gentlemen and ladies who are listening as well, can you see a slight problem with this feedback tool?
It's very small, the text. It's hard to read.
Yes, but there's something else. There's something else that's missing.
Yes. Sorry, the lettering, is it based on your font size you have as default, or it's just by Copilot? Yeah, because it's
this font size is definitely too small. But just imagine that I agreed with the feedback. What would I do? I'd have to sit there and literally rewrite the whole email. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be nice to have a little button here that says I agree with the feedback and just change the email for me? Although it's giving me feedback, so what I could do is I could go into ChatGPT and say, give me feedback. And it's going to give me the feedback, but it's already given me a suggestion on how to improve it. that's missing from the Outlook version. Yes, it's giving me feedback, but how am I going to literally click on this, read these 3 separate parts of feedback, and go through each sentence?
No, I definitely agree. There should be a button there like the Chat GPT.
Yes.
So I think you should give him a thumbs down on that one and tell him put the button in. Watch this video.
But the thing is, they're going to take the negative here as feedback on the reader sentiment. I have no problems with the feedback. I have a problem with how it works in general. So is there any question? This is just showing you Copilot in Microsoft Outlook. Either next week or in a future session, I would like to show you my favorite use of Copilot, and that's in using Copilot in Microsoft Teams.
Okay.
Extraordinary in Microsoft Teams.
I haven't seen it in Teams or used it in Teams yet, Paul, so I'd be looking forward to that. Definitely.
It's the most, when you see it, it will completely change your life. It's going to change how meetings are organized.
Very good.
Thank you for letting me come on the session.
Yeah.
So now, Paul, you're an admin now, so I can put my feet up now and see
We can work out something between us, I think, easily.
Yeah.
I don't think you should not have to. I don't think doing it every Saturday is going to be cool. Maybe even just pop in and pop out. But I think I will take 1 or 2 from you, definitely, Frank.
Yeah. So look, next time I'll be going on holidays there, and
should we end the stream?
No.
Shall we end the stream so we can talk?
Yeah. Okay. So listen, thanks everybody, and Joseph for doing